are a parent, I don't know if it was the Sony kicking in or if you are a parent. This, I actually think the language in this one is actually just as bad as like Guardians 2. If you're worried about that one, this one is like just as bad. And I know some people are complaining about the language in Civil War. This one's probably worse. Like I said, I don't know if that's the Sony kicking in because they're like doing all kinds of rated R movies, like the Venom movie, the Deadpool movie, the Deadpool 2. But like yeah, like the like that last scene was like the F word was like the last word you hear in the movie. Like I just didn't really like that. I didn't like that they had to add so much language or like inappropriate stuff. And like I don't know. I just didn't really get why they had to do that. But I know some people might like that, but I didn't really like it. I think they did a really good job like putting this movie like inside the Marvel universe. It could fit in. And one of the things that I did notice was they talked about they were sailing. They were selling this picture like on the left we have Stark Industry, the Stark Tower, Avengers Tower, and they were selling it. And I'm like wondering how could that fit inside the Spider-Man universe? What is going to go there? And I thought of something. I'm like in the movie theater. I'm like, is that going to be Oscorp? Like, look at this picture on the side. This would be a perfect place to put Oscorp. And I don't know if they go with the Hobgoblin storyline or what, but I think this would be a cool way to like involve the Sinister Six. Now, I'm hoping, like, I felt like in the last Amazing Spider-Man that every single one of the superpowered people got their powers from Oscorp, and I didn't really like that. So, like, I was looking back at it the other day, and I'm like, why do they all have to get their powers from Oscorp? It's like, I mean, it's fine and all, but like, I just didn't really like that. And the end credit scene, guys. I love the second end credit scene where patience sometimes leads to very little. So the end credit scene is like, if you saw it, there's a Captain America scene, and like Captain America opens, he like comes into a white screen, and he's like talking about patience and a valuable lesson. And I thought that was hilarious. Like earlier, like he was talking about like how you got in detention, you messed up, just trying to be cool. And I thought it was hilarious how Peter just got annoyed because he's talking to like someone he met and everything, and stole his shield from and everything. And like, yeah. One of the things I wanted to point out was Peter. It showed in this one that Peter, I don't know if it was just the new suit. I think it was partly just the new suit. But Peter would rather hang out with the pool, hang out as Spider-Man and put on the suit than go to the pool or spend time with the girl he likes when she's giving him a freaking candy bar. A freaking candy bar in a pool. Dude, like, how do you pass that up? I'm like, no, how do you pass that up? Freaking candy bar. I wonder which one was it. And from this point on, I did want to say that this video is recommended with headphones, so if you have headphones lying around, please put this in, and it would help with the volume because I'm a very low speaker, and this would very help. But I'm trying to cover up. Okay, I'm going to talk about how it compared to other Spider-Man movies. This was probably my favorite Spider-Man movie out of all the Spider-Man movies. Amazing Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man 3, and Spider-Man Homecoming. This was my favorite. I thought, like, they had the Tobey Maguire one, and the Andrew Garfield one, and the Tom Holland one. But my favorite was the Tom Holland one. I did talk about this earlier, like, I was at a friend at school, and I was talking about it, and he had just saw Civil War, and he was like, I didn't really think of this way, but, like, I guess, like, now I really see it, because, like, Tobey Maguire over here was, like, he was an okay Spider-Man, but he wasn't he wasn't the best Spider-Man, but I thought he was a really good Peter Parker, where Andrew Garfield over here on the right was he was just I was watching it the other day and just I don't know, I cringed at some moments when he was just like being Peter Parker, but when he was Spider-Man and he had that suit on, he was hilarious. I loved him as Spider-Man. But like Tobey Maguire was a good Peter Parker. Andrew Garfield was a good Spider-Man. But right here in the middle, Tom Holland was the best Spider-Man. He was a good Peter Parker, he was a good Spider-Man, and yeah, that's a cool thing. And I do think because it's also cinematic and they've done so many Spider-Man reboots, I don't think they'd have to explain the story as well, and maybe that's why they didn't have Uncle Ben's thing, because this was actually a 2 hour and